रास्ते लंबे हैं, मंजिल दूर है, मगर हर पल जीना ही सफ़र का नूर है। नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूँ डॉक्टर प्लूटो, नए सफ़र और नए कहानियों की खोज में, जिसे आप आस्था भी कह सकते हैं। तो क्या आप इस सफ़र में डॉक्टर प्लूटो के साथ एक बार फिर से जुड़ने के लिए तैयार हैं? सबसे पहले मैं माफ़ी चाहूँगी कि मैं पिछले एक हफ़्ते से कोई वीडियो नहीं अपलोड कर पा रही थी। कुछ हेल्थ इश्यूज़ थे और मैं बाहर भी थी इस वजह से। तो बिना देरी करे हुए फिर से हम अपनी जर्नी को स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो बी हैप्पी इन द नाउ बाय एयर के चैप्टर 4 की शुरुआत आज हम करने जा रहे हैं। चैप्टर 4, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज हैप्पीनेस? हैप्पीनेस इज नॉट द मनी एंड द फेम यू गेट आफ्टर अ चेज. Happiness is the peace and tranquility that puts a smile on your face. Let's try to define happiness. Happiness is a different for different people. If you try to define it, happiness is a state of being happy. Therefore, you cannot be happy yesterday, nor can you be happy tomorrow. Because you can't be in a moment that has already gone or a moment that is not yet born. You can only be happy now. I am repeating again. You can only be happy now. So please smile. There is no way you can be happy on your last birthday, but you can be happy now thinking about the good time you had. In fact, you can't even be happy tomorrow. You can only be happy now, thinking about tomorrow and what you are planning to do. Therefore, the most important aspect of happiness is that it exists only in the present moment. Happiness differs from person to person. It is strange but true that one man's fruit is another's poison. I may love to sit on a silent beach, but you may hate it. You may love the hustle and bustle of Hong Kong and New York, but I dread the very thought of it. Happiness is unique. Different people become happy in different ways. Of course, many people have common happiness triggers, but everybody doesn't have the same happiness recipe. Happiness also evolves with age. As we grow, we leave behind those things that used to make us happy. And further, as we age, we change again. Happiness for a rich man may be quite different compared to a poor man. Even happiness for women is not same as men. The Japanese may be happy with karaoke, while the Swiss may be joyous skiing. Happiness differs. Don't think what makes you feel happy will make me happy too. Happiness is not only about money. Some people believe in the illusion, if only I had $1 million, I would be happy. This is a myth because not all the millionaires are truly happy. While money is very important to live and to acquire pleasures, it is not the true bliss of life. Once a wealthy businessman was passing by a river. He was drawn towards a fisherman sitting beside his boat, talking and playing with a little boy. The businessman asked, "Why are not you fishing? Why are you just sitting and playing with the child while you should be working hard?" "Sir, I have finished my work. I have plenty of time to play with my kid as I have caught enough fish for today," replied the fisherman. "Why don't you catch some more fish when you have spare time?" inquired the businessman. "What would I do with them when I already have enough fish for one day?" questioned the fisherman with a smile. "If you catch more fish by selling them, you could earn more money," said the businessman. "Why do I need more money? By the grace of God, I have enough money to satisfy the needs of my family," said the fisherman. With that extra income, you could buy a bigger boat. With that boat, you can explore deeper waters, go to the oceans, and catch more fish. By selling those fish, your finances and assets would grow. Then you would make enough money to buy strong nets. With those nets, you could catch even more fish and make more money. With that money, you could own 2 or 3 boats or maybe 4 boats. Eventually, you could have a whole fleet of boats and other fishermen to help you out, and you will become rich, told the businessman. There will be the abundance and you will be wealthy. Then what would I do? Asked the fisherman. Then, said the businessman, you could really enjoy life. The fisherman looked at the businessman with a puzzled expression of his face and asked, what do you think I am doing now? The businessman was speechless. Strange, is not it? We all want to be happy and satisfied, but instead of finding happiness in the simple ways of life, we deliberately switch to complicated methods. We try so hard to attain the contentment which is easily available within our reach that we lose the joy that lies in the present moment. Of course, money can buy a bed, but it cannot guarantee sleep. I can procure special medicine but cannot ensure good health. It can buy an expensive diamond, but it cannot buy love. Therefore, while money is very important, it is not the currency that can you buy happiness. Far greater than all the materials possessions that I possess is my freedom to choose, my freedom to live, and my freedom to be happy. The 3 peaks of happiness. Over the last 3 decades, I found that happiness has 3 peaks. Most of us seek the first peak of pleasure and achievement. We run behind success, money, name, fame, and power, believing that this is only the way of being happy. Of course, it does give us happiness. There is no doubt about that. But can pleasure and achievement give us true and eternal happiness? I personally achieved a lot of success and money, but I realized that this was just the first peak of happiness. I analyzed thousands of people and wrote my first book, I Wanna Be Happy. I shared simple tips on how one can be happy, but I was still evolving from the first peak to the second. As I spoke to people, I found that those who were content with reasonable monetary resources were far happier than the rich and famous who were hungry and craving for more. Those who lived with greed were not as happy as those who were able to fulfill their needs. Therefore, I concluded that while money and achievement constitute the first peak, the second, loftier peak was living a life of contentment and fulfillment. The second peak is a peak where people are fully content and satisfied. Their happiness does not depend only on the pleasure. Rather, their joy is built on a foundation of peace and tranquility that is born with a universal connection. They live with love, laughter, and fill their life with positive emotions. They discover the true meaning and purpose of life, and they are content with their little success. What makes them happy? Their faith, hope, belief, and enthusiasm inspire them to smile. To them, making money is not as important as making a difference. The second peak of happiness has far more shower of joy and is filled with peace and tranquility. As I evolved from peak to peak, I went on a quest to find out what was beyond the 2 peaks. I am grateful that I discovered the third peak of happiness. While the first 2 peaks promised pleasure and peace, The third peak made me search for purpose. My quest made me realize that the first two peaks evolved in the levels of happiness, but both experienced misery and pain. Was there a way to transcend sorrow and live in internal bliss? I was blessed to realize the third peak, which promised not only everlasting bliss but also the elimination of all misery and sorrow. One who wants to evolve to the third peak must read the book Three Peaks of Happiness. While there are three peaks of happiness, one thing doesn't change. Happiness is only in the now. I repeat, happiness is only in the now. तो प्लीज़ थोड़ा सा स्माइल करिए और खुश हो जाइए. प्लीज़ स्माइल, because happiness is only in the now. Whichever peak one may be on, if they try to find happiness in yesterday and tomorrow, they are sure to be disappointed. It doesn't cost too much to be happy. If the currency of your heart is the blowing of the breeze and the swaying of trees. Happiness simplified. Happiness is actually a simple subject. We complicate it. In the beginning, we are happy. Unfortunately, we feel a state of incompleteness. This creates desire. All desires are not fulfilled. When some are fulfilled, we become happy, but when they are not, we become disappointed and miserable. What happens when our desire is fulfilled? We go back to the original state that we had already enjoyed, a state of peace and tranquility. Our ignorance makes us crave for more and takes us on this journey. We do not believe that happiness is in the now. Somehow, we are convinced that we will become happy only after we achieve something. This is a myth. We can be happy in the present moment. The breeze, the trees, and the seas cost nothing but can give us tremendous joy. The simple wagging of a dog's tail or a warm smile from somebody can create happiness. Somehow we have complicated happiness, and in doing so, we lose the present moment of joy. Think about it. It is very simple to be happy right now. Then why not just be happy? It's all about being happy now. If you want to be happy, find a way to be happy now. There are hundreds of ways. If you focus on the now, the moment now escapes you, it takes happiness with it. We become busy thinking and blinking, but our happiness is sinking. Stop. Resolve to be happy right now. Stop whatever you are doing and smile. I am repeating again. Stop whatever you are doing and smile. Give somebody a smile. Help somebody. Appreciate somebody. Love somebody. You will find bundles of joy around you. But if you want to complicate happiness, then it is easy to be miserable. If happiness was just achievement, then the rich and wealthy would be glad. But look around and you will find that many of them are sad. Summary of chapter 4. What exactly is happiness? Point number 1. Happiness differs. What makes one happy might not make another person happy. Point number 2. Many people may have common happiness triggers, but everybody doesn't have the same happiness recipe. Point number 3. There are 3 peaks of happiness. The first peak is all about money and achievement, while the second peak is living a life of contentment and fulfillment. Point number 4. There is also a third peak which promises not only everlasting bliss, but also the elimination of all misery and sorrow. Point number 5. Happiness is actually a simple subject, but we complicate it. Point number 6. Somehow we are convinced that we will become happy only after we achieving something. This is a myth. Point number 7, we should resolve to be happy right now. We will find bundles of joy around us. और इसी के साथ हमारी बी हैप्पी इन द नाउ का चैप्टर 4 भी समाप्त होता है। हमारे साथ बने रहें। अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो प्लीज़ लाइक करें और हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए हमें सब्सक्राइब करें। और हाँ, हमें अब कमेंट में अपनी राय ज़रूर बताएं और बताएं कि कैसी लग रही है ये कहानी और अगली कौन सी किताब की ऑडियो बुक आप चाहते हैं, क्योंकि मैं एक हिंदी और एक इंग्लिश 2 बुक्स को पैरेलली लेके चलना चाहती हूँ। तो आप प्लीज़ कुछ हिंदी बुक्स भी सजेस्ट करें जिससे मैं शुरुआत करूँ। तो प्लीज़ कमेंट करके हमें बताएं। थैंक यू सो मच। बने रहें हमारे साथ, ये कहानी भी बाकी है और इस सफ़र में बहुत मज़ा आने वाला है, यकीन मानिए। और मैं माफ़ी चाहूँगी कि मैं पिछले हफ्ते से वीडियो नहीं अपलोड कर पा रही थी और मेरा गला अभी भी बहुत ख़राब है, तो स्टिल आई एम अपलोडिंग दिस। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय महाकाल।